My name is Jacob Biamonte, and we're getting ready for a webinar on Thursday about a cost network that we're putting together. So in order to utilize our time effectively, I wanted to put together this short video which kind of overviews what the vision is. It gives a little bit of technical details in terms of the submission process and also the research side. And I wanted to mention Zoltan Zimboris, who's going to be helping us. He's going to be leading a node in Budapest. And also at the University of Malta, we have Andrei Chirov, and we also have Vittorio Piano. They're going to be helping out a lot with this. And I've already spoken on the phone to the current leader of the quantum thermodynamics cost, Janet Anders. And so today, what I wanted to do is I wanted to explain the vision of the project that we're trying to put together, and I wanted to give you a little bit of the technical details in terms of how the submission process works, who can be involved, and I'll do my best to be accurate. A cost action or a cost network, as I understand it, is essentially a framework that tries to get researchers in the same room. It organizes workshops designed to bring communities together, and there's been a lot of strong interest for some very talented North American scientists that have said they're very excited about these topics. So as far as I understand it, and as far as the rules of cost are concerned, they're able to be invited to our workshops as keynote speakers. They're able to attend our management meetings, but they're not allowed to vote by the rules of cost, unfortunately. However, we still want to encourage those people to take part in this because we can use everybody's help. The focus is on 36 EU member states as well as some nearest neighbor countries. There's a link to that on the social media channels that we've advertised the webinar on. So please have a look, and please write to me if you have any questions about participation rules. My vision for the network, okay, and initially the goal is to get this funded, and as long as we follow the rules, we have a very high chance, in my opinion, and a lot of people think that. So the vision is to try to, the higher percentage of the 36 member states that we cover, the stronger the network will be. And for that reason, we're trying to get, the average cost is funded between 10 and 15 nodes initially taking part. At any time after, we can add additional nodes. And, many of the costs start off with 10 or 15 and they end up with well over 25 nodes. And we plan to do that as well. And so initially, we're going to try to find people that are, there's a lot of people already working directly on these topics. We're going to bring some new people in, especially, we're going to try to mix it between the complex system side and the quantum physics side and try to get everybody to do this. And we think that, this cost is the exactly ideal way to do something like this. And we especially want to encourage younger scientists to take part in this. If you're interested, just write to us or, show up at the webinar and tell us what you think. So we have made our webinar, we've advertised very publicly, and the reason is that we want to make sure that nobody is excluded from this that really wants to work on these topics. Now, saying that, we're looking to get 12 to 14 groups in the initial proposal, and we can add more groups later. That's okay. Initially, we want to focus on those groups that are in the widest number of countries inside of the EU. And we want to focus on groups that have already done work directly on the merger of these two topics. Now, there's still more groups that are starting to work on this stuff around the world and around Europe. And we have until December 1st to put this all together, so we have plenty of time there. And in particular, we want to encourage young researchers to take part, to write to us, to take part in the webinar. And during the webinar, we want to sketch kind of the big vision, the scientific vision, and we want to hear what people's thoughts are on what has initially already been written. Okay, it's very important that we have a common goal throughout this project, and that's kind of what we're going to be about. And we're all looking forward to meeting new people and talking to everybody this Thursday. This cost is, it's not the very beginning of the topic. We've already been working on this for some time, but I think it's the beginning of something better. And I think it's a good opportunity to bring new people into into this quest to kind of develop this new theory of networks. Okay, and there's a lot of very talented researchers on quantum information theory that are looking at this, and some very talented network scientists. And I think the number of those scientists will grow significantly throughout this cost, and I think it's going to lead to a lot of very nice results. Some big contemporary challenges are now being faced in quantum information science. Imagine if we have quantum systems where just the classical description of the underlying network of spins already starts to exhibit complex features. And imagine that on top of, having actual quantum effects present. So a new type of complexity theory, and I don't mean computational complexity theory, I mean complexity science, will need to be developed, okay? And at the same time, over on the network theory side, there's been a recent drive to merge their topics with information theory, and I think that's a big area. It's a big avenue for quantum information scientists to really take part. And so I'm very excited about this, and I hope that our message is reaching the right people. I think it is, and I'm very much looking forward to not just the webinar on Thursday, but also continuing to develop this and other proposals and doing lots of research on this over the 4-year period if this will be funded.